This is your Math Gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. To solve an equation with fractions, I think the easiest thing to do is clear the denominator or clear the fractions by multiplying both sides by the least common denominator. So to clear fractions, multiply both sides by the LCM or the LCD, least common denominator. So we're going to do that. So we look at all the denominators. There's 4, 3, and 12. And then you have to determine what the least common denominator is. And I just put a parentheses around the whole equation. And I'm going to multiply everything by 12. Now, if you need help figuring out what the least common denominator is, see my videos on how to find out what the least common denominator is for 3 numbers. Okay, so I have to multiply each term on both sides of the equation. You can't just multiply it by some of the terms, right? So I'm going to do 12 times 3x over 4 minus 12 times 2/3. And don't forget, you also have to do 12 times 7/12. I guess I did that backwards. Let's make this green and this blue. Okay. Now, if you have some whole numbers, well, it's easier. You won't have, if this was just a 7, you would just have 12 times 7. You still would multiply by any number, right? Any term. Also, if you've got any parentheses, it's easier to first do your distributive property. All right, so we're going to see if anything cancels. And it will cancel. In fact, that's the reason you multiply by the least common denominator, is so that the denominator will go in evenly to the least common denominator. Evenly means it will cancel. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, 12 goes into 12 1 time, and now all the denominators are 1. Awesome, no more fractions. So then look very carefully. We have 3 times 3x, that's 9x. We've got 4 times 2, that's 8. And we have 1 times 7. Now we have equation without any fractions. So now it should be simple. From here, we'll just add 8 to both sides. 9x is 15, and then divide everything by 9. Now, we know that's going to be x, right? X equals 15/9. We want to reduce that. So 3 goes into both of those numbers. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my answer is x equals 5/3. And hopefully we got the correct solution. The only way you know for sure is to plug that in for x and simplify each side of the equation. To be honest, checking it is actually harder than solving this equation, but we're going to go through it because that gives you practice with multiplying with fractions and getting common denominators, adding and subtracting. All right, so we're going to check that 5/3 is the correct solution. So we have 3x over 4. So we have 3 times x, and we're plugging in 5/3 for x, and then that's divided by 4, minus 2/3. Now you don't do anything on the right-hand side, you just use order of operations on the left. So let's see, the 3 cancels with that 3, and I have 5/4 minus 2/3. And now you have to get a common denominator to subtract, and there's other ways to subtract this, but I'm going to do it by getting a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply, and that's going to be 12. So I'm multiplying this by 3 over 3 to get 12 for the denominator over here, and this is 4 over 4. So that gives you 15/12 minus 8/12. And now that you have a common denominator, you can subtract the numerators, and you get 7/12. So when all is said and done, the left-hand side is 7/12. Now you look at the right side, and there is nothing to plug in for x. You already have it simplified. And if you have the same number on both sides, that means when you plugged in x equals 5/3, the equation is true. You got the same number on both sides. So that means that yes, that was the correct solution. 5/3 is the solution to this problem. This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.